so excited today to talk to you about all the busy things in your schedule and how it doesn't have to be this way forever. Now, I know that might sound impossible, but this one is for all my busy ladies. This is the one where you get back your time and you streamline your life starting today. So if you're ready for that, we are going to dive right in because there is a nervous system component to this topic and there is a practical aspect. I'm going to give you all the practical strategies that have brought me and so many of my clients from a place of complete overwhelm, just feeling like there are not enough hours in the day ever. And if you want to stop the cycle of feeling behind at the end of every single day and that to-do list just carries over to the next day, this is the episode for you. I am so excited to dive into this topic. So, essentially, what you need to understand about being busy. All right, why are we so busy? I mean, let's just be honest. Okay, so in general, women are absolutely the kind of the heart of everything as far as how society runs, how households run, how communities are run. Women tend to be the ones that are holding, they're kind of like the gel, right? We're the gel, and we're socialized to believe that we are completely the only nurturers and we are the ones that have to take care of everybody. Some of this is okay. I'm a huge nurturer. I love to nurture people. I love to nurture my relationships, my clients, my kiddo, my family members. It's like, I love that as a woman and just as a human who enjoys loving on people. But when you are that person for everybody in your life and you can't figure out how to step out of that role when it might serve you to do so, that is where it gets really tricky. Now, we also are high achieving women, okay? So we have a drive to achieve. We are coming from a place of feeling like our contribution is not enough unless it's the highest version of our contribution. Now, that is not a problem all the time. That's okay sometimes to actually push ourselves and get better at things. I love self-improvement. You know, you're here listening to this podcast, girl, because you love to go to that next level and you love to challenge yourself. And you're wondering how you can break down the barriers between you and the next level of ease, right? And the next level of improvement in yourself, the next level of letting go of your perfectionism, your people pleasing, your procrastination. That's what we're here for in this podcast in Unlock Your Blocks. Now, take a breath. It's a great thing to have a drive to achieve high until it starts to defeat you. Okay. Guess how I know that? Oh my goodness. I crashed and burned when I was 22 and I was contemplating kind of not being here anymore. Like there is too much about my whole life that has been so hard and I feel like I'm the problem. The nervous system is genuinely designed from the ages of 0 to 10 to make you think you're the problem only for the reason that your system to survive needs you to please everybody else. And so they can't really be the problem. Your body and mind can't really survive if they think that your parents are the problem, right? Because we can't change what our parents are doing. We can't change what our caregivers and our authority figures are doing. So we are designed to think that from that first decade of our lives, if there's something wrong, I need to change. So I work harder. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do more. And it can be just this rat race that we're in ever since we could remember and have vivid memories. I had one client not too long ago who just said, I'm not actually sure that I've ever been out of survival mode. And I'm like, welcome to the club. We were designed to survive. And our beautiful little nervous systems taught us that the second that somebody's unhappy with you, you're not safe. You might not get your needs met. So we try to do better. We try to be more and please more. Now, that's the drive to achieve. That's one thing that is behind why we're so busy. Another thing is, let me know if you relate to this. Maybe it's hard for you to ask for help. No? Just me? Okay. It is incredibly painful for a high achieving woman who is been programmed to believe that if she can't do it on her own, then she's a failure. It's real hard for her to ask for help. Raise a hand if you know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm raising both hands, both feet, like my dog's raising her hands and feet across the room. This is such a huge part of the issue because we are busy and we also feel like a failure if we can't get it all done, so we don't ask for help. So we've been programmed, again, with the programming, the early on years where our brains are wired to understand the world and the way things are, I'm doing air quotes, to think that we're the problem if we're not getting everything done, to think that if we need to ask for help, that means we're weak, we're not strong enough, we're a problem, we're not competent. We're not smart. I cannot even tell you. My heart still kind of breaks thinking back over the last 10 years that I've been coaching women through self-sabotage barriers to the other side so that they can be nicer to themselves inside their own mind and like stopping themselves from their next level. And I will never forget the first time that one of my super high achieving clients, like we're talking, she's gotten accolades for what she does in her profession, which is a very numbers oriented profession, like just real smart lady, and raised her whole family, was the primary breadwinner, dealt with an unfaithful spouse, like all these things. She's the world's most consummate sort of competent person. And she said, well, I guess sometimes I just don't think I'm very smart. And I was like, okay, hold on. What? And she said, yeah, I think I'm not smart enough. And this is in this trigger, I just feel like I'm not intelligent. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, can we just look at your life on paper and your job on paper and your accomplishments on paper? And those are not the accomplishments of an unintelligent person. And she's like, I know that with my mind. But when these things happen, we were talking about her particular emotional triggers. She said, I just feel like I'm probably just not smart enough. And it's like, wow, where did that come from? Right? Like we have all of these ideas that we are failing and that's why we can't get things done. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not working hard enough. I'm not competent enough. Wow. I mean, let's just take a minute here for all of the women across the world who are brilliant humans who are questioning their own abilities and competencies and intelligence and kindness and logic because they've been programmed to think that they're the problem. So that issue is what is primarily at work when we have a hard time asking for help. So it comes from a normal place. Nobody who's been through that kind of programming is going to feel comfortable asking for help. So that's another reason. We've got the drive to achieve. We've got, I got to do it all myself. I can do it by myself. It's like the 2-year-old tying her shoes and you're like, we got to go. And she's like, I could do it by myself. And it can be kind of paralyzing for us to not be able to ask for help, not let anyone know that we're struggling, and not be able to do it actually on our own because we were never meant to. We were never meant to do that. So here's another reason that we are so busy today. It's the changing technology. Now, I am not one of those people who's like, that's the technology. It's to blame for everything. I love tech. I love a good tech. I love a little AI. I love that I can talk to you through this podcast. I love, the way that I can offer people my services and actually help them who I've never met from, my TEDx talk that is on YouTube and is gaining views all the time from people all over the world in places that I will never probably be able to travel. And those people are reaching out to me saying, I found you on your TEDx talk. Isn't that wild? Isn't that amazing? What a God-given gift for us to have this technology. And we are always available unless we purpose not to be. So going from cavewoman days where it was like, well, if you're not right next to me, we're not talking, and there's nothing that you need from me, to then moving into, okay, now we have the telephone, which is beautiful, and, telegraphs and ability to travel that came a little easier in the 1800s. And during that time, it's like, oh, wow, it's so much more convenient. I don't have to write you a letter. I could send a telegram. I don't have to send a telegram. I could call you on the phone. And then with the invention of the internet, it's like, wow, I can just message everyone on my smartphone all the time. And everyone can message me on my smartphone all the time. Like, it's a double-edged sword. And that's okay. And you have to work intelligently with the technology in order to make it so that it's not going to dominate you. But if you just think about the fact that all you have to do is pick up your phone and then you just tap it once, and then you've got the entire world of Instagram or Facebook coming at you through your feed. That is unusual. These are unprecedented times. I got so tired of that phrase during COVID. But these are unusual things for a human's nervous system to have notifications, ding, ding, going off on our phones. And even if you turn off the notifications, the second that you open your messaging app, okay, whoa, all these people need something from me, or this person needs something from me that I didn't want to hear from. Maybe it's your work. Maybe it's a relative that you don't particularly want to respond to. Man, there are so many ways we can be reached now that we've never been able to be reached before around the clock. So I'm going to talk to you about a few different systems that I have in place that have really helped me. Another thing that causes the busyness is distractibility. With the invention of the internet came this new wave of marketing, this new wave of trying to get people's attention. And because of that, video games, television shows, watching shows on demand. There are so many ways, emails coming in left and right, advertising for the next great entertainment thing that you need to be paying attention to, in their opinion. There's so much happening that, and I don't know if you have heard this statistic, but they've actually studied how long it takes a human who has been distracted to get back to what she was just doing. 18 minutes. No wonder. Because think about all the distractions you have during the day. I mean, I'm a mom. When I homeschool my son with a lot of help from family members, and when he's around, when he's with me, God bless him, what does he do? He interrupts. Now, we have a system in my house on pain of death. One does not interrupt client appointments. But, even with that, it's like just a human can interrupt you. Whoever your human is. It could be your pet, like my little dog today. It's storming outside as I'm recording. And she has just been whining and shivering and just scared because she doesn't like storms. And so it's like, okay, I need to track her. She's been sick. So do I need to let her out? She's actually feeling better. So thanks for everyone who is praying. There are all kinds of things that are going on every day that are just distractions. And we're very distractible because online entertainment and smartphones have trained us to have a very short attention span. So getting distracted is like something shiny all the time. The other thing, and I don't want you to underestimate the power of this one, the other thing that causes us to be busy a lot and to fill up our time a lot is emotional triggers. Emotional triggers can be overtly very draining. Like you could be aware of it. Like I just had a one-to-one client this week and she texted me over the weekend and she's like, hey, I need some support right now for this whole week. I'd get a week of Voxer support with you so that I can talk about these emotional triggers that all came to a head today. And I'm like, yes. And so it took us 2 or 3 days to kind of untangle what was going on for her. But emotional triggers, that was her tipping point. She knew that she couldn't go into her business week and be still weighed down with all of these things that she needed to do to set boundaries and to feel okay in her body so she could go into her presentations that week at this business event she was doing. So emotional triggers can take up lots of space in your day. So I want to kind of get us to the conclusion here. The reason that all of this is problematic is because when you stay in survival mode too long, which is what all of these things do, the distractions, feeling like you have to do it yourself or feeling like you're a failure, the drive to achieve keeps you in survival mode. The reason it's a problem is because when you stay in survival mode for an extended period of time, which we weren't meant to do, we were meant to see the threat, escape the threat or fight the threat, and then be done with the threat. But because we are reachable around the clock, the threat just kind of stays with us. Stress stays with us 24/7 in this society. So this leads to our immune systems being compromised. We get chronic fatigue syndrome. We get all kinds of illnesses that can creep up on us, autoimmune stuff. We get anxiety, depression, burnout, and most of all, isolation. Busyness keeps you isolated. If you have any workaholic tendencies, which again, raising my hand, if you have any workaholic tendencies, your isolation will be so acute. Your system was not meant to stay that way. So you will be drained more than the average person who is not isolated that way. We were designed to lean on others, but the survival brain says it's not safe because it's still going from our little kid wiring. Okay, so the sabotage cycle will continue to repeat. So I want to give you some actual practical solutions on top of continuing to calm your triggers, which requires the 3 S's. We take our deep breaths. We get that safety for the first step. We do the self-nurturing for the second S. We get some safe support from our green light people in life for that third S. So we're calming our triggers, right? We're calming the survival system, calming the vagus nerve. And then I have a 5-step plan for you to streamline your whole life, okay? So the first step is to assess what you're spending your time on. Assess your load. What are you carrying? What are all the things you do in a day? Now, this is you might feel some resistance to me saying this because you actually do need to stop and write it down. This is the only way I've found that for me and my clients, it actually works because you have to kind of see it on paper in order for you to really take in everything that you're doing. You may not even realize it all. I want you to put in folding the laundry. I want you to put in making the meals. I want you to put in driving places. What phone calls are you fielding? What are you doing at work? What are all of your work jobs that you're doing? So assess your load, write it all down. Then you're going to prioritize. I have 2 great things for you to run everything through, 2 great filters. If you have a business, you need to have the book Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Fantastic, fantastic book. And That book will walk you through his system for assessing what you shouldn't be spending your time on in your job and in your business, and how to get to the next level of income and the next level of ease and joy in your whole life balance based on his system. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that resource. It's phenomenal. I'm reading through it again right now. It's just incredible. If you do not have a business, here's how you streamline your life. This is the filter that you look at everything through. Is this my highest and best use? If it's not your highest and best use, then we're going to move on to the next steps. You're going to put it into a highest and best use list and a not highest and best use list. Does that make sense? You have two lists after you look at your priorities. This is me. This is where I thrive. This is what I love to do. This is what I should be doing with my time. And these are things that anyone could do, or these are things that I should just not be doing because I'm not good at them or I don't enjoy them. They're draining. Now, if showering is on your list of things that you don't enjoy doing, I don't think you can really outsource that very well. But as long as it's not something that has to do with like your body and your particular what you need to be doing, then it goes into the third step, which is to delegate. So you're going to delegate the weak areas for you. You're going to delegate the things that are too heavy for you to do by yourself, or you're going to ask for help. Okay. And what I do with my one-to-one clients, and you can book a 15-minute chat with me anytime. It's called an Unlock Your Blocks focus call. It's free. And I will help you figure out what are the areas where you need to be asking for help and how do you do it without getting triggered. And what are the areas that you probably could be doing yourself continually. So you're going to delegate in step number 3. Step number 4, you're going to acclimate to your new load. Your nervous system is not going to like it if you start asking for help, if you start doing less and having more ease. It feels that working hard is the only way that you are going to be safe. But we are here as adult grown women to comfort that nervous system and tell it it's safe to do less. It's safe to find ease. It's safe to follow the peace and not the pain. Step 5 of this beautiful streamlining cycle is repeat. So once you acclimate to the new level of doing a little less and focusing your efforts in a little bit more of a focused way, you're going to go back and you're going to assess now what you're spending your time on, and then see if there's anything else that doesn't need to be on your plate. So I hope this is helpful. One of the things that I do that I tell all my clients to do is, 1, have an app that will, if you listen to your phone notifications. If you don't, that's okay. But have an app that reminds you of things. It's the only way that I remember to do the things I do, including take my vitamins in the morning. So I don't make any decisions throughout the day, and I make it so easy to remember what I need to be doing that all I have to do is just look at my phone and look at my reminders. I have a little app called Alarmed. There's a free version for Apple and for Google phones and Androids. And then there's the paid version. I think it's like $10 or something like that. And I love it. I live by this app. And then another hack for your phone to not take all of your attention is use that do not disturb function. Find out how to use it if you don't know how. Use the do not disturb. I have it scheduled to turn on every night at a certain time, and every morning it turns off at a certain time, so then my reminders start coming through and people can reach me. But I turn it on do not disturb when I'm recording podcasts. I turn it on do not disturb when I need a focus time in my office, unless I have somebody that really needs to reach me. And even then, I leave it on do not disturb, and I tell the do not disturb function on my iPhone, do not allow anybody except for so-and-so to reach me. So like if my son is with my sister, I let my sister's phone number will always come through. So I hope that's helpful. I hope this is some good practical strategy. It's a little bit longer of a solo episode today because I wanted to cover this concept, this phenomenon of feeling like there are not enough hours in the day. That's not your fault. It's because of all these really good reasons. There's no other way that we could be growing up the way that we grew up. And now it's just time to rewire a little bit, to acclimate to new levels of ease, to bring in help where we can. And when I say delegate, by the way, that could be hiring someone for $10 an hour to do your laundry. It could be asking for help from a family member or a friend or someone at a community that you're a part of, in a church, in your business besties, whoever it is, when you delegate, it really needs to be that you are not trying to carry all of the heavy things by yourself. If you're totally flummoxed by this episode, by the way, don't worry. Please do book your free 15-minute chat with me. I would love to help you figure out how do you take the next baby step towards feeling okay, assessing your time and potentially asking for help when you haven't before, and feeling like a failure for having procrastinated or been too much of a perfectionist to move forward, or been crippled and feeling inadequate because you don't do a lot during the day, in your opinion, and you're not as productive as you want to be. There's a reason for that, and it's not because you are flawed. Okay? So I'm here for you. I hope this was helpful. Take such good care of yourself, and I will see you next time.